When it comes to the term Nephilim, to me it's really been surprising. In fact, I've only ever found it in one commentary. The fact that the spelling of the term, Nephilim, really does not conform to what you would do as a writer, how you would spell that term if you meant fallen ones. In Hebrew, you would spell it no-phalim, those who fall or those who are fallen. But we don't have that. We have Nephilim. You might also opt for Nephulim. That would be a passive spelling using the verb form nafal, the root nafal. But we don't have that either. So this idea that Nephilim means fallen ones really does not conform to the way that the word is actually spelled in the Hebrew Bible. And again, I've only ever seen one commentator take note of this, which surprises me. The term itself is best understood as either a noun that comes from Aramaic naphilah, because that would produce nephilim in Hebrew, or it might be an Aramaic verb nafal that would also produce nephilim. In both cases, you would have either fallen ones in the sense that there's something corrupt about them, there's something malformed, something in terms of a grotesque or odd appearance. And if it's the noun naphilah, that noun in Aramaic means giant. And this is important because a lot of scholars feel that the context for Genesis 1 through 11 is Babylon, whether it was composed in the Babylonian era or whether it draws on Babylonian items or motifs for theological purposes. Aramaic was where the Hebrews were exposed to the block script and that language, because after the cuneiform languages in Babylon, Aramaic was the language of the period. So it makes sense that there would be this connection. The other thing I would say is when you go to other translations of the Hebrew Bible, and specifically I mean here the Septuagint, which is the Greek translation of the Hebrew Old Testament, and also Targums, which are the Aramaic translation of the Old Testament, in both of those cases, they will use words in their language that mean giant for Nephilim. They don't opt for something more abstract like fallen ones. The Septuagint uses gigantes, which is giants. So I think it's very consistent. It's more consistent with the way ancient translators apparently understood the term, to argue for the fact that, hey, the spelling's important, and the only way you really get to the biblical spelling is starting with a word that means giant in Aramaic.